What is going on, you guys? My name is Seapeekay and I'm super excited to bring you this video on Minecraft Legends, the new game coming out from Mojang. It's a real-time strategy game with single player and multiplayer. What you're going to see right now is 4 versus 4 multiplayer match. The teams are actually me in the Littlewood, Solidarity, and a friendly fourth fellow whose name I actually didn't get, versus Grian, False Symmetry, Pixel Riffs, and the Orion Sound. So let me preface this by saying we basically got the chance to play this game at a secret location. We played 40 minutes of the single player campaign, then we got to jump into a multiplayer match. Now what that means is none of us were very good. None of us really knew what we were doing. So what you're going to see in this is not an optimal way to play the game. And we actually took so long playing the first game, we did not have any more time for other games. But the main premise is your team starts with a tower, their team starts with a tower. First team's tower to go down loses. You have to build walls and monsters to help you and all kinds of stuff by collecting resources with allies, putting my allies out to go collect wood and some out to go collect stone. Now your whole team utilizes the same resources. That's very important to notice. We did not know that at first, which was just a bit of a mess, honestly. Around the map, you're going to see these like piglin areas that have been infected with like nether brick and stuff. You're going to want to attack the tiny piglins here to make them drop lapis lazuli. You're going to have a whole bunch of different things that you can collect that are going to give you different upgrades. You need lapis to create mobs that are going to help you battle. And I just think this game is going to be super fun. Now, the multiplayer aspect is something I'm super excited about. Being able to jump on 4 versus 4 with friends and take on other people is going to be an absolute blast. As you can see here, I've actually managed to actually build a spawner now, but I lack the required lapis to actually get anything to spawn from it until I do not anymore. And as you can see, I've got these 2 little guys who shoot arrows. They're little ranged fellas. So I tell them to help me out because we're being attacked by the other team. There is direct PvP combat. You can slash swords at each other. And you can kill each other's mobs, and the only thing you can't do is you cannot affect structures yourself, so you can't just run in and smack structures yourself. That literally does not work. But you can spawn a whole range of different mobs. You'll see me here get some little like stone golem type things. They're really good for knocking down buildings, and the ranged guys are going to sit at the back and help out as well. I've set them all to attack that lovely piglin structure there, which is going to drop useful resources. As you can see here, I've jumped back to our base just to come and see what's going on. We've not quite got a whole fence around us. This is what the map looks like. So you can see it is a pretty huge map. And in the top right there, it shows you what you're going to find in each area. You've actually got to go to different biomes to find different resources, which is super cool. At nighttime, the piglins get stronger, and they're actually no joke. They are very, very powerful. This is me coming across to find where the blue base is. You actually don't know where they are. Each map is generated randomly, just like in normal Minecraft. So you do have to send out someone to scout early on so you can find where the enemy team is. And again, none of us really knew what we were doing here, so we were just sort of running around aimlessly fighting each other for a little bit. I spent way too long at the piglin village thinking I could completely destroy it, which you cannot do because they need to be there to give you a consistent access to lapis, which I did not realize. This is me running around. You can see I'm very low health. I'm destroying their mobs, but I'm actually letting the piglins attack their spawners instead of attacking the piglins because they were doing me a favor. So I thought it was pretty useful to just sort of let them swing at the enemy, and I just sort of stand by and watch as they help me take down the enemy spawners. This is really cool. There's a bunch of power-ups around the map. This mushroom gives you a huge jump boost. As you can see, I'm bouncing super high now, meaning I can probably get into trees. I can jump over walls. There's a bunch of cool stuff you could do with this. Launch surprise attacks, maybe. And there's also a recall system that is going to take you straight home. So if your base is in danger, if you're under attack, as long as you're able to stand still, you are able to recall back to your base almost instantly. It's actually super fast. I think they might change that eventually to have a little bit of a respawn timer. So our base was being attacked a little bit, so I came back. And as you can see, I'm no longer on a horse. I'm now on a beetle. There are multiple mounts that you can find around the map, and the different mounts have different abilities. I can actually scale walls on the back of the beetle, which is really cool, but I am much slower than a horse was. This is me trying to secure our team some more lapis before realizing we actually have max lapis. You can see down there in the corner, we have 250 lapis, which is the max you can get without upgrading. But again, we were new and we were failing with the upgrades. So I went home to see if I could learn a little bit about the upgrades, because your team also shares the amount of mobs that you can control. So I think the default is 60, which is nowhere near enough for your whole team. And we were not upgrading our base correctly. But again, none of us really had any clue what we were doing. But it was super fun to try and get to grips with it live against another team who also didn't really know what they were doing. I will be uploading a bunch more content on this game, and I will be hopefully getting more knowledgeable in it too. So if you are excited for Minecraft Legends, then make sure to subscribe, leave a like on this video. So at this point, I'm kind of in the middle game. I just got a bunch of creepers from a spawner and decided to see how powerful they were. Took them to the blue base, told them all to attack this gate, which maybe was a bit stupid, but we blammoed our way through. That door got absolutely destroyed. So this was my notice to learn, oh, actually, creepers are super strong. Maybe we should use these. At this point, I started thinking of ways that I could help my team. I built spawners near their base. You can build anywhere on the map, which is what's so interesting. You could kind of do like little proxy bases or little side bases. I basically grabbed a bunch of guys, swam across the river, and was trying to see whether I could try and take down a wall. Now, the defenses were very strong, and I was using basic mobs at this point because we hadn't got many upgrades. You can see in the bottom left there that we do have the resources that we have. So we have loads of wood, loads of stone, but they're the basics. We need things like iron, lapis, coal, etc. to actually be able to get better mobs and better buildings. What we didn't know is that 250 is the cap unless you upgrade the resource collectors, which we did not know until quite late on. So we were pretty stuck, especially when it came to redstone. Some of the better buildings, you needed a bunch of redstone, and we could not have enough of it. As you can see at this point, I was almost dead, but I was just trying to distract them. Now, the enemy team, very cleverly, set up one of the most powerful buildings in the game, which is a TNT cannon right next to our base. Put up a bunch of archer towers around it so that we couldn't get near it. Very clever. Super good strategy from the other team. Sadly, it didn't do too much damage for them. I guess sadly for them, not for me. We were having a great time because it didn't do too much damage. We had just started to get to grips with how we can expand our army. So as you can see, we can use 100 mobs now in the bottom right there. And we decided, well, why don't we mount an attack? It's getting towards end game at this point. You're only 8 minutes into the video, but we were 40 minutes into this game. We made it take way too long. It was more just that we were all having fun running around and exploring. We didn't want to just, rush the game. So we knew we had one session to record, so everyone was sort of taking their time and trying to learn about the game as we played live. So this is all of our team stood outside their base, ready to mount an absolutely massive attack. You can see here we've all got control of different mobs. There is a whole variety in here, including a whole ton of custom mobs as well, which I am really, really excited about. I love when they add custom stuff. I am taking an absolute battering from the archer towers there, just trying to get out. We also attacked at night, meaning the piglins were stronger, so wasn't necessarily the wisest thing to do because we were being attacked not only by the enemy, but also by the very strong piglins. So we managed to breach the first gate, but as you can see, I'm on 1 heart, and I am just flailing wildly, trying to stay alive, dodging some arrows, but eventually get taken down for my first death. We get a 10-second respawn time there until we go back to our base. But fast forwarding, you can see there the bases are in disarray. We are orange, we're on 67%. Blue is the enemy, they're on 79%. We knew that this was our chance. It was now or never. It's time to mount the massive attack. I knew how strong creepers were now, so I collected a bunch of creepers. And the whole team, barring one person, decided to go and attack their base. Now, I'm going to let the rest of this video play out so you can see what happens. But if you're a fan of real-time strategy, then you'll know what a base race is. Very popular in games like StarCraft, but it is both teams essentially mutually agreeing without actually speaking to each other. Let's just see who can destroy the other one's base faster than the other team. So we were on our way. I was setting some allies to collect a few things on the way as well, just in case we needed any last-minute resources. But me, and I don't know who was who here because we all had fun usernames, were mounting an attack. Our whole team is heading over to the blue base, and we're like, this is it. It's now or never. We're going to go all-out attack and see if we can take down their base. If you do have any questions about the game, I'm happy to try and answer them in the comment section. This was a super hard video to actually put together and commentate and stuff. So if you do have any questions about the game, then please do let me know in the comments and I'll see what I'm allowed to answer. This footage is allowed to be shown, but also I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about stuff. But as you can see here, we are mounting a massive attack. We are taking down all these buildings here that we're on right now. They're upgrades, meaning that they were losing the ability to use certain mobs. They were losing upgrades that they'd got. We were actually destroying them. You can see we are all over them. The blue base is currently ahead of our base, but we very, very quickly take over. As you can see there, they chunk them down to 66%. All of our mobs are attacking their main Nexus tower, and we are like, we might actually have this. We're still on 73%. They're on 57%. The game is incredibly close, especially as none of us knew what we were doing. But our teammate called and said that someone was back at the base and they were coming to attack. So I headed home, left all the mobs there, and headed back. And when I get here, I'm like, well, nothing's happening. There's no one here. And there's our other teammate, and we're like, well, there's no one here. What's going on? You can see the blue base is on 34%. We're on 75%. At this point, we are like, okay, this is cool. We absolutely have this in the bag. I'm just going to grab a few more creepers, take them with me. And then our base gets attacked. Out of nowhere, we go from 75% to 45%. They're on 18%. Then we go 32%. And then we go 17%. And then we've lost. And I don't know how that happened, but it happened so fast. And we got absolutely destroyed out of nowhere. And it was an absolutely heartbreaking end to a 40-minute skirmish. But the game is super fun. I'm going to be uploading a full playthrough of the single-player campaign on my channel. If you're excited for it, let me know. And yeah, leave any questions in the comment section below.